go. All that stuff's, well, most of that stuff's out of there. Now we don't want that to happen again. One way to prevent that is to add a little bit of grease right here to put underneath of our little metal slides and then smear it in there with your fingers. This won't stop all of the corrosion from happening, but it'll slow it down quite a bit. Now we're doing brake work, so we want to use a non-petroleum grease. I'm using Seal Glide for this, and it works pretty darn well. Then we just add our little slides, push them all the way down, top and bottom. Then we can go ahead and push our brake pads in there. And they move pretty freely now. That's what we want. Now I'm just going to go ahead and torque this axle nut to 155 foot-pounds. There we go. Now what I attempted to show you, but the footage was lost, is after cleaning out the spindle housing, but before installing the wheel bearing, I coated the inside of the spindle housing with grease as well, for the same reason, to hold back the corrosion. It's something you have to do when you live in this area. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the face of these hubs, making sure not to get any grease on the wheel studs themselves. I know some people do that. It's not a good thing. Some dielectric grease on the speed sensor connection, and make sure to plug it in. I've always believed unpainted rotors were about as useful as tits on a bull, but these are all I could get, so grease it is. Then we just make sure that dust shield doesn't rub. If it does, now's the time to take care of it. Lightly grease the slide pins and put them back in. Do not mix them up. With this car, they're not the same. And finally, a little bit of blue Loctite on the bolts that hold this caliper bracket in place. Bracket and pads on, now we can install the caliper. And then we just torque the lug nuts in a cross pattern to 90 foot-pounds. Now you might think at this point, you've done well, the job's over, let's go get a beer. But there's a final step that a lot of people forget, and I seen it break a guy's leg. You gotta pump up the brake pedal. You just have to. After you've compressed the brake calipers, the first kick isn't going to stop the car. It's only going to move the pistons so far. So to make sure nobody gets hurt, just pump the pedal all the way up to the top. Don't forget that step.